You see someone with a Labrador retriever, and you smile. You cannot help it. The dog is bounding toward you, tail wagging like a metronome set to pure joy, and something inside you relaxes. But here is what nobody tells you. The person holding that leash is not random. They are not accidental. There is a psychology behind people who choose labs. And once you understand it, you will never look at them the same way again. Let me break this down for you. The Labrador Retriever is the most popular dog breed in America, has been for decades. But popularity is not the story here. The story is why. What kind of person wakes up and decides that this specific animal, this goofy, food-obsessed, relentlessly optimistic creature, is the one they need in their life? The answer reveals something deeper about human nature itself. People who love Labradors are running from complexity. I do not mean that as an insult. I mean it as a diagnosis. We live in a world that is suffocating in layers. Every conversation is a minefield. Every relationship requires a manual. Every decision branches into infinite outcomes that you will never fully understand. And then you meet a lab. A lab does not have layers. A lab does not play games. A lab wants 3 things: food, affection, and to be near you. That is it. No hidden agendas, no passive aggression, no mystery. This is why lab owners tend to be people who value transparency. They are the ones who say what they mean. They do not do well with manipulation or emotional chess matches. They want their relationships straightforward, clean, honest. The Labrador is a mirror of that desire. When a lab loves you, you know. When a lab is hungry, you know. When a lab wants to play, you know. There is no decoding required. And for people exhausted by the performative nature of modern life, that clarity is not just refreshing. It is salvation. But here is where it gets interesting. Lab people are also deeply nostalgic. They are chasing something. A feeling, a memory of when life felt simpler. Maybe it is childhood. Maybe it is a version of America that exists more in movies than in reality. The golden retriever running through a field. The family dog waiting at the door. The loyal companion who never judges. Lab owners are buying into a mythology, and they know it, but they do not care, because the mythology works. This is not weakness, this is strategy. In a world that constantly tells you to optimize, to hustle, to complicate, the lab owner is making a radical choice. They are choosing the ordinary. They are choosing the predictable. And they are doing it on purpose. Because predictability, in the right context, is not boring. It is peace. Now, let us talk about control. People who choose Labradors are people who want to feel needed, but not in a desperate way. In a healthy way. A lab is dependent, yes, but not fragile. It is not a breed that requires constant vigilance. It is not going to have a meltdown because you left it alone for 3 hours. But it will be thrilled when you return. It will act like you have been gone for 3 years. And that reaction, that pure, unfiltered excitement, does something to the human brain. It tells you that you matter. That your presence is not just tolerated, but celebrated. Lab owners are often people who struggle with feeling invisible. They work hard, they show up, they do the right things. But modern life does not reward that anymore. You can be competent and kind and still feel like nobody notices. The algorithm does not care. Your boss does not care. Society does not care. But your lab cares. Your lab notices everything. And for people who feel overlooked, that is not just comfort, that is proof of existence. There is also something about physicality here. Labs are not small dogs. They are not accessories. They are solid, warm, heavy creatures that take up space. And people who choose them tend to be people who crave that kind of presence. They want something real, something tangible. In a world where everything is becoming digital, abstract, and distant, the lab is a reminder that physical connection still matters. You cannot hug a text message. You cannot rest your hand on a notification. But you can bury your face in a lab's fur and feel grounded again. And let us be honest. Lab people are also a little bit basic, and they are fine with that. They are not trying to impress anyone with an exotic breed. They are not looking for a conversation starter. They do not need their dog to be rare or difficult or misunderstood. They want the dog equivalent of a best friend who always says yes. The friend who is down for anything. The friend who does not complicate plans, that is the lab, and that is the lab owner. But do not mistake basic for shallow. Because here is the secret. Lab owners understand loyalty in a way most people do not. They have seen it. They have lived it. A Labrador will stay by your side through anything. Sickness, failure, heartbreak, boredom. The dog does not leave when things get hard. It does not ghost you. It does not find someone better. And people who choose labs are people who believe in that kind of commitment. They are the ones who still think loyalty is valuable, who still think showing up matters, who still think consistency is a virtue, not a weakness. This is why lab owners are often the most reliable people you know. They are not flaky. They do not cancel plans last minute. They do not disappear when life gets messy. Because they have learned from their dogs. The lab teaches you that being present is enough, that you do not need to be perfect or exciting or impressive. You just need to be there. Now let us talk about optimism. Because this is the big one. People who love Labradors are people who refuse to give up on hope. And I know how that sounds. It sounds naive. It sounds like something a motivational poster would say. But hear me out. We live in the age of doomerism. Everyone is convinced the world is ending. Every scroll through social media is a reminder that everything is broken. Relationships are broken. Politics are broken. The economy is broken. Mental health is broken. And the default response is cynicism, detachment, irony. Because caring is cringe. Trying is cringe. Hope is cringe. But lab people did not get the memo. They are out there every morning, walking their dogs, smiling at strangers, believing that today might be a good day. And their dogs reinforce that belief. Because a lab wakes up every single morning like it is the best day of its life. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter what is coming tomorrow, right now, in this moment, life is good. And that energy is contagious. Lab owners are not stupid. They know the world is hard. They know bad things happen. But they have made a choice. They have decided that cynicism is a trap. That detachment is a slow death. That the only way to survive modernity is to find something worth caring about and care about it fully. For them, that thing is a dog. A simple, loving, endlessly forgiving dog. And through that dog, they remember how to care about everything else. Here is what people get wrong about lab owners. They think it is about the dog being easy, low maintenance, a safe choice, but it is not about ease. It is about alignment. Lab people are looking for a life that feels coherent, where their values match their actions, where love is simple and loyalty is real and joy is not conditional. The Labrador is not a compromise. It is a statement. It says, I still believe in goodness. I still believe in connection. I still believe that some things are worth protecting, and maybe that makes them targets. Maybe that makes them seem soft. In a culture that worships edge and irony, sincerity is vulnerability, and lab owners are nothing if not sincere. They are the people still sending birthday cards, still calling their parents, still believing that small acts of kindness add up to something. They are not trying to disrupt anything. They are trying to build something, and their dogs are part of that construction. So when you see someone with a Labrador, understand what you are really seeing. You are seeing someone who chose simplicity in a complex world, someone who values presence over performance, someone who still believes that loyalty and love are not outdated concepts but survival tools. You are seeing someone who looked at all the chaos and noise and chose something that wags its tail and licks your face and reminds you that not everything has to be so hard. The Labrador Retriever is not just a dog. It is a philosophy, and the people who love them are not just pet owners. They are believers. In a world that tries to make you cynical, they stayed soft. In a world that rewards detachment, they stayed connected. In a world that tells you to optimize everything, they chose the thing that just wants to be loved. That is the hidden secret. Lab people are not simple. They are intentional. They know exactly what they are doing. They are building a life where the most important things are not complicated. Where coming home feels like coming home. Where love does not require a strategy. And in doing so, They are quietly rebelling against everything modern life tries to sell you. You can call it basic. You can call it predictable. But they will keep walking their dogs. Keep smiling at strangers. Keep believing that maybe, just maybe, the way forward is not through complexity, but through clarity. Not through optimization, but through connection. Not through being impressive, but through being present. And their dogs will keep wagging. Because that is what labs do. They wag. They love, they stay. And the people who choose them understand that sometimes, the most radical thing you can do is choose something that never tries to be anything other than exactly what it is.